Well, it's that time of year again when we pivot from politics to politics. That's right. This is how we've politicized weather in Canada. Of course, 30 degrees is not that hot considering, well, that's summer. That's just summer weather. But they've already jumped the gun. They jumped it to the point where 21 degrees is warranting a heat warning. If you're in the States, that's less than 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Ladies and gents, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Clyde. Welcome to the channel. The subscribe button's just down there. Go ahead and hit that. Let's get into this story. Now, we're on the heels of the coldest May in, 50 years? This is crazy. Sean Rickard putting this up about a month ago, saying in Ontario, Canada, we're currently experiencing the coldest, wettest May since 1967. And the fear-mongering climate alarmists and propagandists are silent, not a peep from mainstream media either. How do you think they'll be reacting if it were sunny and 30 degrees right now? Well, they didn't have to get to 30 degrees, of course, as gov.exe is corrupt put this out there just recently. Says, holy cow, holy crap, they just issued a heat warning for Ontario, and it's 23 degrees where I am. I'm old enough to remember when they called this a nice summer day. You know, the country is messed up when even the weather is propaganda. That's right. Heat warnings issued brisk 21 degrees in June. Now that's of course at the end of June, but this is the reality on the ground. This is crazy. When this is what we see on the maps. This is how do you call this anything but propaganda at this point? This is just insane. Have a look at this from CTV News.
It's very hot outside. You need to limit your time outdoors if you are tuning in from parts of Ontario or Quebec. We are talking about humidex values in the mid to high 40s, particularly the farther south and west you go. So the Western Ontario really taking the worst of it for Windsor and then up toward the London area. Air quality can reduce during an event like this, and you'll particularly notice it if you are a child, if you are elderly, if you're pregnant, if you have respiratory issues. You all are going to be more affected by this heat. It would not.
This heat, look at the numbers, like 21 degrees. This heat.
Not only in terms of breathing, but also in a limited ability to regulate your body temperature. So there are the heat warnings. They will be in place today and tomorrow. There is a slight reprieve, both in temperature, but mostly with humidity for Wednesday. It's
honestly, if you're having any trouble with the heat, I'd recommend first thing you do, get in the bath. Like run some water. It's the quickest and easiest way to regulate your temperatures. But these aren't crazy temperatures, and they don't warrant the colors on the map. This is when you know you're being propagandized. Absolutely. Anti-taxers saying we just had the coldest May in 4 decades, and it's taken 20 days into June before it's even considered warm. And there are heat alerts. Come on, it's summer. We're just on the cusp of summer. It's not even that hot yet. It's crazy. But this is the reality. I love this one. Michelle putting this one on X. The meme saying, you know, back in July in 1980, when we had some of the hottest summers out there, people's, reaction was, oh, it's going to be a hot summer, just like the last one. And then fast forward all the way to July this year. Can you believe how much hotter the summers are now because of climate change? Well, are they really that hot? Really? We had a very hot summer, maybe, I think, what was it, back in 2021, where we actually reached some pretty high temperatures, record breaking on a couple of days. But then what happened to those records? They've diminished. It's like we actually have hot summers sometimes and then cooler summers. What do you think? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below of where you think this is going to be. But Michelle saying, and yet we had the coldest May in 50 years. Again, people silent on that one. Exactly. Now, Ryan Garrettson pointing out the summer weather prediction, according to the CBC and Environment Canada, will be molten lava. Look at all the reds. It's like they've just adjusted their color maps because this doesn't reflect reality at all. Summer weather outlook suggests Atlantic Canadians will be looking for shade. Next 3 months are expected to be hotter than average and possibly drier as well. Well, of course, what comes with drier weather? It comes forest fires. Yes, and when we're gonna get into this, it'll probably be another story for the summer. Forest fires happen, and especially happen when we have poor management of our forests. But of course, they'll blame it on this stuff altogether. But here are the maps. Love it. All that red and yellow and oranges and all of this stuff. But look at the numbers. Honestly, does 25 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius warrant the deep reds and all of this stuff? And what yellow is 16 degrees, 14 degrees is yellow. That is cold. It is cold. Absolutely. I think there should be some more blues and even whites on that map. It is just unbelievable. But this is all the weather networks out there showing this stuff. Heat warnings for Ontario when it's in the 20s. I'm sorry, folks, but this is just absolutely absurd. And of course, they're blaming it on CO2, things like that. And this is the reason why they're forcing us into electric cars in Canada, because there wouldn't be no pollution based on, well, what's this? A cargo ship carrying vehicles sinks in the North Pacific weeks after catching fire. There's the scene of all that beautiful, no visible pollution, right? I can't believe it just astonishes me every time. No visible pollution except the lithium and cobalt that's burning on this ship going into the atmosphere and then sinking to the bottom of the Pacific, doing what to, perhaps part of our food supply. We get a lot of our food from that ocean, don't we? But we're not going to comment much on that stuff, are we? No, we're just going to talk about how red those maps look. Again, according to the Weather Network, Southern Ontario is now molten lava. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this. Have you been watching the weather? I know Canadians, one of the things that brings Canadians together is the weather. It's always the one icebreaker that you can have with people you don't know. How about that weather? It's something that we've always talked about, and now it has become a political hot button issue. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.